Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and today I'm going to show you how to defeat King Gleeok inside of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And the simple answer is this is very much the exact same fight as the other Gleeok fights. It's just that this one has a little bit more health. It's covered in gloom, so if you take any damage, you're going to lose your maximum heart total while fighting, and you're also going to have to contend with one of each of the elemental beams. So to start out with, the secret to these fights that makes them really easy is going to be a couple of things, but primarily it's going to be having bat eyeballs from killing the various Keese bats that are all over the environment. In this case, because it has one of each elemental type as one of its heads, you're going to want to have the basic Keese eyes, which are the easiest to farm. Just find a cloud of Keese flying around at night somewhere, drop down on them, fire an explosive, and then they will all die, and you'll have enough for the fight through one or two of those packs of roaming Keese. Once you've got that, it helps to have different food available that restores your health, buffs you to do more damage, and then lots and lots of different weapons, both bows and primary weapons that can do a lot of damage. I'm using some Lionel weapons. You can use whatever your heaviest hitting fusion weapon is. It's more about the volume that you have on hand, rather than having the hardest hitting stuff in the game. In this case, you also want to have lots of bows because you're going to want to deliver those automatic homing missile arrows using the Keese eyes in order to do damage to King Gleeok. If you've never used Keese eyeballs attached to your arrows before, the whole idea is they will automatically home in on the weak points of any monster you shoot them at, and then do a critical damage. In this case, when you hit each of King Gleeok's eyes, he will smash down onto the ground where you can lay into him with a lot of hits. Finding King Gleeok isn't that difficult. He is in the depths in a coliseum just to the north of the Lost Woods, where you will find like a big battle arena inside of some rock walls, where each one of the different races' statues is looking into the middle of a central dais. Once you get up in here, you'll see him flying around above the battle arena. The second you enter, he'll start to aggro and start to attack you. Just go ahead and start aiming at his heads and start using those Keese eyes in order to deal damage and get a crit on each one of his eyes so that he smashes down into the ground. Once he hits the ground, run up to him and use a weapon to do as much damage as possible to one or more of the heads. The best bet that I've found when going through this fight is to use a powerful weapon and do a spin attack between one or two of the heads. Sometimes you can get three depending on how it falls down to the ground, and you want to make sure you keep them stun locked as much as possible, because if they get up into the air, it's hard to hit them. They use those death ray attacks, and you can also use a bombardment, which has a tendency of one-shotting you even if you have a lot of health. The other thing to note is it seems like King Gleeok's heads revive a lot faster than the other Gleeoks, so you want to try and bombard them with Keese-eyed arrows as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you can have things that happen like I got frozen. I also got electrocuted a few times, which made the fight take a little bit extra time, and I took some damage, which resulted in me losing some of my full hearts, because again, this particular monster is covered in gloom because he's in the depths. Other than that, it's really a basic fight. You just have to run away from him before he completely wakes up, or else he'll throw you around with some wind, which makes it harder to hit him with your Keese eyes. And it kind of looks like each one of the heads has its own health bar, so you might have to hit him a couple of times with those arrows in order to get him stun locked, which isn't a terribly big deal. And then once he's stun locked down on the ground, just do as much damage as you can, rinsing and repeating until he is completely dead. Now, King Gleeok being the last of the Gleeoks is kind of weird. He'll drop like a little bit of everything from all of the other Gleeoks, including the Gleeok wings, which will make your arrows travel to the max distance that they possibly can before de-rendering without any fall off, which is actually kind of nice. So I would use those sparingly as sniper arrows. They'll also drop one of each of the elemental types of horns, which will shoot out a geyser of either fire, ice, or electric, which can do a lot of damage. And they'll also drop his various other parts, which can be handy for crafting elixirs or weapons. So that'd be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's basically the same as the other Gleeok fights, just more health and a little bit more annoying because he's got gloom. So bring lots of food, bring lots of weapons, and do lots of damage. That'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.